Hello, 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 my friends. Shawn here with Manly Made Minute, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy you've joined me. I am doing a pre-record this week because I am on the road traveling for a full week and am not available to do a live. I know I've done them from the hotel room before, but I thought, you know what? So I don't have to carry a whole bunch of stuff in my luggage this time and worry about that. I'm going to go just do a pre-record and I'll be back to lives here next week. So thank you so much for joining me. Tonight, I am taking some inspiration from a really great friend of mine, Shalana Glass. She is on the design team with Brutus Monroe with me, and she has been putting out some cards that are just so cool. And I never go this route with cards with this kind of paper and creative cards they're called, and I'll show you here in a minute. And partially because I always am stamping and doing other stuff, and then I struggle with how to combine them into things and how to make cards, and then what do I put with it? What do I die cut and put with it? And so she's put out a couple cards. One of the Brutus Monroe lives, I took her inspiration and did a cover plate, and I embossed it and used that as my background behind a coffee. And I think this is the one we're doing that we did this past week. So, and that's where I got the inspiration to do that. Now I want to do a full-on card with the stuff she has used, and I'm going to be honest, I'm going to try to replicate, and just so I can get in my head the feel of this, and because I want to do so much more of these cards with these creative cards, because Brutus Monroe has these amazing creative cards that are so cool with so many designs, and I got to start using them because they're just really cool, and Shalana does an amazing job putting them together. So head on over to her link. I'll have that link in the description below, and then you got to go check out the Brutus Monroe website. It has some of her cards, and check out her Instagram. I'll put that link below because she has them posted on her Instagram as well. But they're so cool. So I'm going to copy, but kind of give my own twist with a few different, like a floral and different things. She's done some butterfly ones recently, and I'm going to mix up some foiling in there because I got to try a new product from Brutus Monroe with some foiling that is my newfound love of foiling. So I'm going down that route. Sure am. So before we head down to the down camera, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Would love to have you follow me here on YouTube, and you can find me on Instagram under Manly Made Minute and follow me there. So let's head down, show you all the goodies that I'm going to use tonight, and we're going to get started. All right. So here is the product I'm going to use for the evening. These are the creative cards from Brutus Monroe, and just let me show you how cool these are. Now these are, is this the cityscape one? I believe these are the Uptown Girl ones. And I'll grab one more pack or two here that I have, because I bought like 4 packs because I'm going to do these, right? So they're not double-sided, they're single-sided, but just look at how stinking adorable and cute these are. And I look at these going, oh my gosh, these would be great cards, these would be great things to put on cards, and then I'm like, how? Besides just putting them in a frame and doing, like, how? And it's all in my head, I get it, right? I think I just need to do fingers to paper and try one and then get the juices flowing on the creativity of it. So we're gonna use one of those. Then I went and bought the cityscape paper. Now I will tell you, I'm in Brutus Monroe design team. I am mixing some Brutus Monroe with other stuff. Some of this stuff was given to me free as part of the design team. Some of it I bought. This I bought, and this I bought. Okay, I'm using City View. She's been using all kinds of other papers and stuff as well. I'm using City View for this because I thought it went well with these papers. But check out these. These are double-sided, and I think these are just so cool. And I always go dark and deep colors a lot. I'm going to pick a bright one, and it actually might be, it's going to be this one actually. I can tell that right now. I just want to go bright and colorful. Okay, I already know I'm going to throw the pink, something pink on there, so I think that goes well, and I like the cityscape on that. All right. And I will put links to this stuff. Some of this will be collab links if it's Brutus Monroe. FYI, no charge to you. It just does give me a little bit of commission as part of being on the design team. So just know that when you purchase it, but it's no extra cost to you. All right, I'll just throw this aside for now because I already took my piece out that I'm going to use. Okay, then I am going to use for my sentiment one of these stickers. These are foilable stickers from the Page Turner collection. And they're peel and stick, but they're foilable. 12 chapters, 365 new chances. Be the person who decided to go for it. Trust the next chapter because you are the author, and then the world needs more you in it. And I'm using that sentiment that we're going to foil. Okay, this came as part of the inspiration box kit from Brutus Monroe. So I'm going to actually throw that in the foil machine right now because it's on and heated up because I heard it beep. And I'll get this foiled while I finish talking so I can get that done and then turn my machine off. And I've never foiled one of these stickers before, so let's just see how this turns out. Just getting that started so it starts pulling through there. That is my new purchase. I did purchase the Gina K Fuse. Took me 1 or 2 tries to figure it out, and I am loving it. All right, I'm going to use a die plate again, and I'm using the Wallflowers cover plate by Catherine Pooler. So it cuts out these really cool roses, and I pre-cut a piece out of scrap paper. I didn't need the full thing, so I just did a scrap paper. You can see it's cut off there, but that's okay. I don't need the full thing. For my card base and sentiment base, I'm going to use this. It's kind of a deep purple textury kind of paper from Marcos Paper, and this is the Kaleida Paper Purple. And so I'm going to use that, and I might have to pull a scrap out of there. So let's just get that now for the sentiment, most likely, for the sticker part. And I had this little piece of pre-printed mixed media page kind of thing from CYOE of Brutus Monroe. So I'm going to use this and throw that on there. And then I'm going to do a flower that I want to do 3 little groups of flowers on this design. So I'm going to stamp out this layered stamp set from Altenew. This is Sweet Flowers. I'm going to do this one. Then I'm going to cut these off and group these together in the corner of my girl. Okay, so let's just emboss this first. And what I wanted to do with this, I'm going to grab just a piece of scratch cardstock here, and I am going to emboss this in pink. I recently bought this one as well. I did buy this one, Raspberry Rainbow Embossing Powder by Brutus Monroe. And look at how pretty that is. It's got like black and rainbow specks in this really nice pink base. So we're going to heat emboss this, and I am just going to smear this all over and then emboss it. Easy as that. No skill set needed on this one. And this is kind of a newer thing for me to do this with some background dies and plates, and I am loving the option to cut these up and throw them on the back. And you'll notice in the Men of Monroe from last week, the coffee one I did is the same technique. All right. Now let me just grab my piece of paper for embossing, throw that in here, and we'll just cover this up like so. Hopefully everyone's having a great week. I apologize I could not go live. It just wasn't going to happen this week with having to be on the road just a little bit. 2 bare spots there I'm trying to catch. There we go. Man, this is pretty already without... Let me zoom in on that. Like, that is a pretty pink. Nice muted magenta-y kind of pink. I love that color. With a ton of shine and glitter in that, I can tell you that right now. So let's just heat emboss this and set it. Grab my spot where I already smeared it off from the tweezers there. So if you have not used the Brutus Monroe embossing powders, you've got to give them a try. It is such a nice, fine powder. It sets so nicely, so smoothly, and melts incredibly easy. It makes it very effortless with his embossing powders, to be honest. Just making sure I got a good melt and shine on all those. And I think I do. All right, I love this color. I gotta bring this up to the camera and show this color. Isn't that pretty? Okay. Just throw everything I don't need aside for now. Now, we are going to do this as my base. So what I want to do, and this is 5.5 by 4 1/4, and I'm going to cut this to size, and then tear it like she tears a lot of hers. She does die cut some of hers too, and I think I want most of this pink, so I'm gonna go this direction so I can cut this off and use most of this pink to go with that die plate I just did. So I want 4.5 this way, or excuse me, 4 1/4. So I'm gonna go about 4 1/8 because it's gonna be, I need to just a little bit smaller, but I don't want to, because I'm gonna tear off stuff, right? And it'll be smaller than 4 1/8 by the time I'm done tearing stuff off. So 4 1/8, and we'll go. I'm gonna keep most of this at the bottom too. So we'll just go like 5 3/8 or a little under 5 3/8 on that. Actually, I'm gonna cut off the top part. Sorry, like so. Okay. Keep those scraps. Don't throw them away. Paper is precious when it's this nice. So now I just want to tear this and rough this up. So remember, when you tear paper, the direction that you tear it is going to leave you that white edge or not white edge. So for example, if I tear it this way, you can't see that white edge, right? But if I tear it toward me, I get that white edge that when I go to ink blend this, it'll grab that color much nicer. Okay, so I'm gonna just tear off all around my edges. And I'm doing more tear on this one. You could use a distress tool. I do have the Tim Holtz distress tool. That would work fantastic with this as well. Just whatever that flavor you want on this card. I wanted a little bit more purple to show behind, so I'm tearing this off. And that's why I kept this just slightly bigger than what I needed for my size, because I knew I was going to be tearing some of this off, and I'm going to lose that for my border. Right? Like so. I love these papers. I really love these papers. Now, I want to do some ink blending on here. I don't want to get too much pink. I don't want to get too much purple. And I always go brown. So I'm trying to go different on this card of what I normally do. Just because of just getting out of my norm with this and this layout and this type of card. So, and especially this much designer paper that I normally don't use a ton of, right? So it's more stamping and coloring and things. So I'm trying to get used to ephemera-ish like combination of things. So pinks are in here, purples are in here, but there's some blues and deeper blues and a little bit of an orangey color or burnt kind of color. I think I'm going to pull out some blue. And I do think I'm going to use my distress line. So I've got prize ribbon. I actually might throw a little bit of purple in that, just a tiny, tiny bit on that edge. So I'm just seeing what else I have here for blues, or that deeper kind of tone in my stash. So let's see. I think, I'm not sure about that. Or no, sorry, didn't mean to grab that one. That one, I'm not sure about that one yet either. But I'm going to start with this. I think I might do the blue and put just a little bit of vintage photo over the top of that. Maybe some purple. Okay? So let me grab my blending pads here. So I've got my purple. And I should have a deep blue here, I thought, somewhere. Maybe not. So I'll just grab one for my deep blue for now, and then I do have a brown, and I can probably just use what's left of this, because I know I was using this one earlier today with some brown on it. So I might just use what's left on that one. Okay. I'm going to start with my prize ribbon. I don't want to carry my blend in too much. I just want to keep it kind of concentrated around the edge and not bring in too much. I will bring the blue down a little bit. And this is the Distress Oxide Prize Ribbon. Well, that matches nice, actually. The rest of this, though, I'm going to give it a little color. I am going to throw just a tiny bit of purple through this. Okay. Just a little bit of Villainous Potion. I'm going to keep that blue in my glass mat because I can use that to pick up as I do my Villainous Potion to keep me from getting too concentrated. Oh, that just darkens it really nice. And when I do this, you can see me, I'm pulling that ink off my glass mat to use as well without reloading and getting it too heavy. Reload just a tiny bit. I'm just trying to get that a muted kind of blend in there. I like that. I actually really like that. I am going to just give us a little bit now right here on the edge. And I'm more swiping this on rather than blending it in. Just a little. Just need a little bit. And I'm going to go through and age this over the top just a little bit. Not heavy-handed. I'm going very light just to age this down just a tiny bit. Really light hand here. And I'm using the leftover. I did not re-ink on this at all. I just want to age that down. I'm digging that. I'm liking that pop of color through that smoky kind of age kind of feel. I really like that a lot. So, and I'm taking inspiration from Shanna, and I'm taking inspiration from the set that I wanted to use, and then the color combos and things, and then knowing she had elements in here, right? Now there is some print on this. I want to add some more print. I shouldn't have put that stuff away because I need to age this down. Let me grab those three colors again because I liked that color combo. I'm going to throw, I want to throw just something to break this up. So I'm going to start with this piece here that's already got the angle going that I need. I've just got to re-tear that the right way if I can get my fingers to do it. My brain can't think backwards here on this one. Let's see if I can go, here we go, connect it this way. All right, and then I am going to bring this off the edge like so. And this one, so it goes off the edge over here. So I'm going to have to move this into the corner. I want these off the edge just slightly. I like that a lot. Okay, let's distress that. So I'm going to knock the tone of this down again. Let me grab the brown one. So let's just age this down. I did not reload up any brown on here whatsoever. Just getting the brightness off of it. Okay. Now I'm going to take that blue again. Just switch my... I don't have enough of these here with me. I have them at my other house in Georgia, but I don't have enough here, so that's why you see me switching pads. No other technique reason than I'm just short on the little handles. Doing same technique. I'm getting it on the edge, and then I'm just pulling that through into the paper just a little bit, and then I'll edge with the purple, edge with the brown. Pull a little bit of that in there. I actually might have to do some glitter glaze with this. Now that I'm looking at this, I didn't get any glitter glaze into my combination here, but there might have to be some glitter glaze. Add a little extra sparkle on this. All right, gonna reload up just a little bit here and throw a little purple onto this. Just getting it in there on the edge. And then the brown. I'm going to reload because this was getting kind of low, so I'm going to reload just a little bit brown so I have some to work with here. And you know what I'm going to do? Speaking of glitter glaze, I don't want to glitter glaze that whole thing because I'm going to cover up with that die plate anyway. I'm going to glitter glaze this piece. Just that piece, I think. So let me wipe off this before I start smearing everything else and ruining everything else. Get that cleaned off again. I'm going to put the glitter glaze on there now. Let me see what we got here for some cool glitter glaze from Brutus Monroe. I have this blue. I just bought some new ones. What do I got for new, the newer ones here? That one might be a little too bright. You know what? I got this new glitter grunge, and I'm not sure what it does. We're going to wait, because I'm not sure what that does, but I think whatever that looks like, it might would probably be cool. Yeah, let's see here. That's too lavendery. And I don't want silver. Maybe if I did, I'm going to do blue, I think. Because I got enough pink going with that background coming. But this one would look really cool too. So, I'm going to use that darker of the two blues. Then it'll dry back anyway. I'm going to just do it messy style. And use my fingers. The thing I like about the glazes is it'll brighten up your paper too. It just gives it a little bit gloss on there. And now I'm going to tap this in just to get a little bit heavier glitter on there. I'll have to probably dry this a little bit since we're recording. It probably won't be dry by the time we're done, but we'll move on. And I'll dry what I need to dry here at the end, okay? All right, now what I would like to do is I'm going to pick out one of these, and I would like to frame her because I would like a frame where I'm going to put the flowers on and things, right? So I got out, what I do with them, one of my favorite dies from Brutus Monroe as well is the Elegant Eggs. He also has a scallopy rectangle one, but I thought this would look cool as a old-time photo kind of thing, okay? So I'm going to get out this, and I think what I'm going to do, because I think this cuts out that, yeah, and that's not big enough though. Let's just see. This is to cut out the inside, and I don't think I'm going to have a big enough space, and I don't want to go too big because that's going to cover up all of that. Right, so I wonder if I might have to just go into like an oval. I wonder if I did this, and if I have an oval that matches that to cut her out. Let me just grab my ovals quick. And again, I'm kind of just throwing this in here last minute. Not quite. That one would kind of work, actually. We're going to try. Why not? Let's just try. So, get this section out of here. Okay. Probably could have cut these apart before I started, but that's okay. So I'm going to use this lacy portion one and put it in pink. Now I have a ton of this pink colored paper, and so I will do the same with that and just ink blend the edges and knock that down just a little bit because it's a little too bright. But I'm just using it because it's got a pink shade to it. This kind of cotton candy kind of one. And then I'll cut this out, and then we'll cut her out with this oval that will match as good as I can get, right? All right, I have my die cutting machine here right behind me because it shakes my table. And grab my sentiment. We're gonna have to rip that off. That's the fun part, right? Okay, so then let's just run this through. 1 second. All right. Well, I like this one just as that antique frame kind of thing. Clean this up a little bit. I'm going to give it a little pop of pink, darker pink, and then, yeah, I think I can do this and maybe cut that down. It might work if I pop her up on dimensionals on that. So let's just see which one I want, just to get an idea here of something that'll fit nice into that. She's kind of cool. I could just do a scene. I'm looking at this too to see where I want to go with this. Ooh, look at that one. Will she fit? She's maybe a little big for this die, but maybe. Ooh, boy, that one's beautiful. That is my one, I think. That might be the one. Just check the rest of these. She's cool too, actually. We're gonna go my hat lady. It's got that muted tone kind of in there. Oh my gosh, these papers are just, I can't believe it. All right, here's the sticker that's been foiled. Oh, look at that. I did rainbow. That works. That works great. Okay, let me die cut out her. You know what? Just for kicks and giggles, let me see. Let's just see. Because I'd like this to fit as best I can. And let's see if I can live with cutting some of that out. Right? These are all layered into each other here. Get that out of there. This one's nice and tight up in there too. So put in the comments below. I'd love to hear from anybody that does these kind of, you know, I guess we would call this collage-y, right? Is the way I look at it. I guess it's just more collage-y. So, all right. I guess I am supposed to not cut that. Give me 1 second here to get this back where it was supposed to be. Come on. Yeah, I'm just gonna go this route. Okay. Run this through my die cut machine. Just kind of lining up the portions of her that I want. Okay. We're gonna make it work. Oh, I don't think that's not horrible. A little gap on the top and bottom there, but it's not horrible. In the words of Gina K, it's better than horrible. All right, so I want to grab one of my more intense pinks, and then again, I'm going to bring back that brown and knock down the pink after I put it on with some brown. So I want to just intensify this, because this is just a little too cotton candy for me, but I just have so dang much of this pink. That's why I kind of went with it. When I bought it, I just didn't realize how much I actually bought until it arrived, and it was like, I don't know, 2 full reams or something. All right. I like this because this is just like an old antique frame. That's what kind of attracted me to this die cut. Probably shaking a little bit on the table here. Sorry about that. Oh, I like that. That's a great pinky brown, kind of like that. Okay. Now I'm going to just age her a little bit. Can't tell. I like to edge things out. I like the separation between the papers and different things. I want to go a little bit more because what I want to do is just throw a tiny bit of pink over the brown this time in reverse. Like so. Just keep spinning. Let me grab that pink. Now I know this was loaded up pretty good, so I'm going very light-handedly here and just getting a little color onto that edge. Just to bring it up a little bit. Ooh, that kind of softened it in, didn't it? I think, so that you don't see the difference in this, I think I'll pop that up on dimensionals. And we're getting close to this card. So the one thing that might take me just a tiny bit here is to stamp out those flowers, because they are layering stencils, and then cut them and lay them. But we'll do that last. We'll get the rest of this in place here. Okay, I just like to do a little glue to give me some time to finagle. All right. Pardon my head for 1 second. I'm going to just scoop in so I can see and center, up and down, back and side. I like it. I like it. Yep. Okay. This would have been cool to emboss gold. That would have been really cool just to throw that in gold. Wonder if I can go back. Look at this. I didn't really plan this out because I really wanted to explore this in front of you with this whole new feel. Let's just go and throw the gilded on there. And I didn't need to ink blend this, I guess, as much, but that's okay. So I'm just going to do the same thing because it's going to get covered by my lady. Okay. Better wipe out this pink so I don't contaminate my gold. All right, throw this in here. Do the gold around the edges of this. Pink and gold look so good together too. So the other one that I've got embossed pink will look so good with this. All right. I'm using the Gilded by Brutus Monroe. It's got a nice bright gold. Heating my gun up really good before I get to it. It'll melt much more and even and smooth and faster with a nice hot gun. Yeah, good choice, Shawn. Good choice to go back over that. Now that I see it and throw it on there, yeah. I needed something to make that pop off that page. Now you're seeing me in real time here, just my back and forth that I go with these collage-y kind of stuff and what to do with them. You know? Okay, while we're to this point, let's just dry this up a little bit. I'm going to use my other gun because I think it's a little faster for heat-wise. Just to speed that up a little bit. So I'd like to assemble this portion of it and then get my florals going. I need this kind of dry enough to touch. Good, good, good. Okay, let's throw this down first. Now that I was grabbing this, I think I want this more like this. Centered this way, and then another layer of texture over the top, which is going to be this. Okay, I like this texture kind of going on right now with the different layers. So let's throw this one down first. A little damp yet around the edges. So I'll just be careful so that glue doesn't tear my edges there. And I'm just going to kind of put this a little bit over that edge and a little bit over this edge, like so. Now, before I put this one down, I want to glue this onto my card base. Okay, so get this, and I'm going to flatten this. I don't need this necessarily curling up like I do on a lot of cards. So I will flatten this one down. All right, center. I'm actually wondering, I'm going to give this just a little willy wonky wampus on this too. Just a hair. Kind of digging that. Okay. Flatten that out. Now, what I want to do with this is I want to cut this frame off and have more of a jaggedy edge. So I'm going to cut down to the stems on this. And again, you guys, this is my interpretation of taking some of Shanna's stuff and making it my own and giving her techniques a try at the same time. I like the jaggedness of the roses. That's why I'm taking this off like this. And just following this whole outline to get that. I'll scope out how much I want to actually cut off here when I start laying this on top. So I kind of, sat and evaluated her stuff. It's all about she adds texture versus with stuff like this, or she does she has done a lot of, and I'm going to pull this up so I can show you. She has done a lot of script stamping. I took the script stamping and I did this instead. And then she either just stamps it, she embosses it, whatever she does. Then she adds a layer of texture, which lately it's been stuff like this. So I add a texture here with my embossing, and I'm adding texture here. And I think I want to take one row off. I can see that. So if I'm looking at it from a design standpoint, I'm just seeing her layer texture. Again, this is just me trying to understand how to do these better. If that makes any sense. I'm going to leave that for now, and I'm going to cut, yeah, that I can cut off when I get to it. Okay, now I'm going to lay this across my whole card and then cut off those edges. And just dabbing enough to kind of hold that down in some of these larger spaces. That makes sense. So yeah, I'd love to hear in the comments. Just do you use this paper kind of stuff a lot, ephemera a lot? Do you struggle like I do? My problem is I'm indecisive when it comes to stuff like this, because then I start guessing like, does that look to get good together? Does that, you know, and then I just second guess what I'm doing. Where a stamp, I feel like a stamp is a stamp versus I feel like there's just so many ways, you know, you could do this. I'm gonna go just off center just a little bit. Flatten that back out, and then I'll cut those edges off. Let's pop her up now that I'm to that point and I got that done. Redo that piece. Okay, sorry, my head's gonna probably get in the way here for 1 second while I recenter her again. Oh, now look at that. I'm so glad I did that. I liked it, but it was muty. It was just a little muty to me. So, okay. All right, now let's let that set. I'm going to go back and grab a small piece of purple. And it doesn't look like I have any scraps left in this pile, so we're going to have to cut one up. And I need one that's going to fit this sticker. This sticker, not this whole size, the sticker where it peels off is roughly 1 3/4 by 1 2 1/4. So 1 3/4. So I think if I go, I have plenty. If I go 2 by 2 1/2. 2 by 2 1/2. Okay. I just need a 2 by 2 1/2 piece by 2 1/2. Because I don't do this very often either, I'm going to take, I didn't have a round one, but I've got these. So I'm going to take and corner round my corners. And I don't do this very often, so hopefully I do this right. I was trying to look at, like, if I'm going to do this, then I need to get out some stuff, right? I like to deepen that just a little bit. Taking my purple, I haven't reloaded it. Just using the excess that's on there. Because this sticker has kind of a shiny finish, I'm not going to edge that. I'm just going to throw that on white. Now look at this. This just peels off. It might be clear. Oh, it's kind of clear actually. So that should pop up. Oh, it's a chat box, and I don't want the chat box. I didn't see that portion of it, so we're going to cut the chat off. Oh yeah, that'll work. Actually, if I center this now, that good and centered before it sticks on me. Come on, come on. You can do it. All right, whoop. I got a little something underneath there, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it off, so we're going to run with that. I'm going to try to use a bone folder to smooth that down. So that purple kind of comes through and the rest of it kind of disappears. Yeah. Not bad. Not bad. Okay. Let's just trim this off. And then I'm going to stamp out my floral to add on top of this. So she's going to go like so. We're probably going to throw, that's too big if I do a floral with that. The sentiment was kind of a last minute. I might have to do a different sentiment, and maybe we'll find one with that. Yeah, this is not going to work. Okay, let's do my flower. Let me just clean off some space here for this, my stamping tool. And we'll do this flower. And then we'll throw this flower on top, and we'll be good. Okay. Let me grab some paper. Just like so. All right, this is a layering stamp. So we're gonna go with my outline here first. Altenew layering stamp, so just go here. I like, this is kind of finer detail stuff. I like my VersaFine usually for that. And just make good contact here. And I like that. I like it when you get a one and done kind of stamp. Okay. This tells you now which ones to do next. So now after this, I gotta look at the front side. So this was A1, so then I need A1, that was A. I need A1, which is gonna go here. And I do remember these stamps. I have stamped this one before, and they stamp out. They line up really nice. I'm talking really nice lineup on these. They're cut so nice. Just takes a little bit to find the spot. And you should be able to do these in the layers. I'm going to get my head in here just to make sure I've got my stamp where it needs to go. Like so. And I'm going to go pink, but I'm going to start light, or lighter. Just wipe that to make sure I got no specks on there. So I don't get any flecks. Okay? We'll just start lighter. And as we get in towards the detail, we'll go dark pink and browns. May have to do a couple so you get a good solid on that. And we're going to leave it there. I think that'll smooth out enough for me. Okay. So that's the ones. Now you got to move on to, so this was the first ones. And they're A, B, and C on here for the flowers. So that was A1. Now I go to A2. And A1 was this one, so now A2. Like so. A2, B2, B2. Get my head in here for, again, I'm sorry. As I try to line this up the best I can. And B2, C2. Okay. And C2. You'll see the lines as you start lining this up where you need to go with it. Gently pick those up. Okay, we're going to go just a little bit deeper pink. And let's see, I want, where is my, didn't pre-sort those out, but I think this one, let me check the color of this one again. I've got two, and do I have one more after this? I gotta look. B1, B2. So I think that's all my layers actually, because that is the stems. So yeah, all right. So we're gonna go deep. We're gonna go deeper than I thought I was for that colors, but that's good because I just want a little dramatic on this as well. And then we'll stamp out those stems. Actually, I don't need to, well, I do because I want to get the little bottom pieces. I'm just thinking I could probably save time and not do those pieces, actually. But maybe I want to use this whole thing. No. Let's see. I'm going to do these. I'm just going to do the stem portions of these. And this one, I remember you sometimes have to bend it in place to catch all that you need it to catch. It's just finagling a little bit back and forth. Okay. Clean those off as we go. So throw these back. I'm just going to do the bottom portion of those stems because I think I want to use that for just that little bit of anchoring and a little bit of that green. Okay. And I'm going to go a little sea glass and probably double stamp this just to deepen that up for sure. Yeah, need to darken that up a little bit. That one down here one more time. All right, I think I'm good with that. Let's check sentiments on this set. What do I have for sentiments? You create beauty with your attitude. You create beauty with your attitude, your behavior, and your actions. Well, come on. That's just a given that we're going to use that one. I mean, seriously. So, what I'd like to do is recut out that. I'm going to actually probably just fussy cut around this. So I just need a little piece that I can emboss this in. Just throw this up in the corner. Just going to throw it on there because I'm just going to fussy cut it. I'm going to fussy cut the flowers. We'll fussy cut off the sentiment. And then we'll be good to go. I'm actually really, the process of this, for me, I think is, I like this process a lot, actually. I like the process of the collaging and mixing things. Is it getting a little complicated with layers? Yeah, but I like that. I actually really like that. Okay. And we're going to go with the gilded again, because I think that gold will look good with that frame. Throw this down. Okay. This saying just couldn't have been more perfect, and ironic it was on this set, honestly. Okay. Let's do a little bit of fussy cutting here. I'm not using the full. Let me see if I can get that off. The full flowers. All right. Easy fussy cutting on this one because the lines are so simple around this flower. I'm not too concerned about that green in the corner there because I can cover that up with another flower as I collage these together. I get this on and the sentiments on, and I got my card. And you know, she had elements on hers with some little pot of flower. One of them, she had a little pot of flowers in the corner, which I almost did. I found a stamp set where I have a pitcher of flowers, like a water pitcher full of flowers. I almost put in the corner, but I kind of wanted to do this layering florals from Altenew, so I got this one out. She had butterflies on a lot of hers. So yeah, this is just my take on it. Any of you do the layering flowers from Altenew, or have any of them? Do you like them? I love them. I really, really, really like them. I like the built-in texture that you can get relatively effortless on these. As I'm doing this, I'm like just talking about the process here. This one's making me think. This one's making me think more combos would go together, and I think some people tell you, I've been told, just do it, just let it free. There's no rules. There's just do it. That's I'm trying. I have a couple packs of ephemera I bought too, that I need to kind of whip out and do more of, because that's another this is the type of cards to do that stuff with, but it gets me overthinking sometimes, so okay. Fussy cut this out, we're good. Just keeping this pretty simple. It's so fine detail of print that I don't need to go around every letter. Keeping it easy. When you're fussy cutting around this stuff, you get that one last little corner. All right. She's up on dimensionals. This, I believe, should be up on dimensionals, so let's do that. And find a spot for my sentiment and collage of those flowers on the corner. I appreciate you all that are sticking through this video. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and give me the thumbs up if you like the content. Any and all comments welcome, as long as we're keeping them positive. And if you've got ideas, I've tried this, you've done this, or absolutely throw it in the comments. Would love to hear from you. But smash that thumbs up. That just greatly helps a lot. All right, I got a boo-boo kind of in there that I'm going to try to hide. I'm going to kind of go up and slightly over so I have room for that sentiment. So she's going to be slightly off center. Sentiment there. And then I'm thinking something like this. So I've got 3 layers that I can put up on. Ooh, I kind of like how I just fanned that out. Okay, so I need a dimensional right behind this and on the stem. Okay. I need a dimensional right behind that. Let's cut that actually. I'm using my different layers to throw this on. So this should go like that, and then this one is going to get glued down. So grab my tweezers. This is going to go down right on the card base itself. This had the green thing on it, so I'm covering that up too. There we go. Just finding those dimensionals that I can tuck that around. Okay, let's go layer 2 here. Dimensional to hold that up where it's hanging over the frame, and I'll glue it to the frame. The rest of this will get glue, because this is going to go like so, and that's just going to come right like that. Almost like it's a fan fanning her, or it's a fan coming out of her hair or her hat. That actually looks kind of cool, if I do so say myself. That gets glued. So just see here. Did I get that right? Yep, I did. All right. I think my sentiment, I wonder if my sentiment should go like right there, hanging, connecting to that, rather than over here in the corner by itself. I think just connecting right off of that and dimensional up on there. Sounds like a good plan to me. So we're going to go a little thin dimensional and a square. So square there, and the dimensional needs to go, come on, onto this little piece. And then glue on the other side, just like balancing it out so it doesn't warp down. It puts it all at the same level is what I'm doing. That's what I do with the flowers. I'm just putting it all at the same level. Because this is up on the second level if you think about it. Okay, and I'm going to add some bling. I grabbed those. I didn't know if that color would match. Let me grab the other one. I've got all kinds of bling, but I wanted to use these new ones I bought. And that's got a little orangey reddish flavor to it. This is more of a black flavor to it. You know what? I'm thinking some good old pearls. with this antique thing, some good old pearls. So we're going to go pearl, pearl, pearl. And let's just see here. Man, I don't remember the last time I put pearls on something, to be very honest. At all. Good stick on the back of these ones. A little too much glue, but it'll dry clear. Okay, then I think I need 3. Let's put one right here on her hat. And I feel like I need one over here somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4. Trail it over. Trying to keep my odds in there. Wow, I am digging this card. How fun is this with all these different textures and bling and different things? I couldn't be happier. I truly, truly couldn't be happier. Now this makes sense to me on the layers of texture, layering this up, collaging it as you come to the top, and then finding the pieces that make. I feel like these flowers clustered around here just make that picture. Just absolutely makes that picture. So this makes sense to me. I can't wait to dig some of these ones out. And you know, if you look at, I can see if it's close by here. I just bought this one. Let me grab it because I've got to show you where my head's going here for some of these. And I know it's out. Here it is. So this one was, I don't remember the name of this one. Let's see, I don't think it's on the back. Very fall. Look at this one. Love these train ones. I am now going to be collaging some of these, I can tell, right? So, let me get this close up before I go back up for you guys. I love it. Absolutely love it. Perfect sentiment on this. I couldn't be happier. So let's head back up to my wonderful face here for you all. Thank you all so extremely much for hanging with me. I promise I've got my lives coming back. I've had to do a couple lives for Men Up in Row. I'll get back to my Manly Made Minute lives when life just slows down and I have time. So may not be consistent, but I try to at least give you a pre-record or a live on my channel once a week. So see if the face cam will pick this up, because this just is, see if it'll focus, not on my face. There we go, a little bit. I'm so happy with that. Thank you all so very much. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Smash that thumbs up. Would greatly appreciate it. And until next time, I'll see you then.